roasts are so niche. I mean, they're not supposed to be mainstream. There's a reason these things were not televised forever, and then they were on late night on Comedy Central.
Right.
You know, the fact the ladies on The View hate them. You don't like roast. Most people don't. I mean, it's kind of an aggressive form of comedy. It's mostly ball busting among comics and showbiz folk. And Tom is moving into showbiz.
Well, he's moving. I just feel like if I were Brady, I would say to myself, and I think he very much cares about his image, and I would think to myself, if I do this, when somebody presented this, I would think, well, they're going to bring up my divorce, the jiu-jitsu instructor, of course, the Deflategate, the spying, the leaving of the pregnant girlfriend, all these things that he has moved past. It's like, why would he, who's so squeaky clean as he is, want to dredge that all up again? I guess you're right.
To show he has a sense of humor.
Show he has a sense of humor, but
nothing's too serious.
I suppose, but I mean, what does he need it for? He's got money and fame and looks and all of it, and a brand new job that's paying him way more than anybody makes for that job. You know, he's making like $30 million a year from Fox. I just felt like, what does he need that for? You know, at the end of the day. But I mean, he did it, and all seems fine for him. I just wonder, you know, what was his thought process going into it? Eddie, you may have some thoughts on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's rumored that him and Giselle lost maybe hundreds of millions of dollars in the when FTX collapsed and that whole fiasco. And so over the past year and a half, you notice he's been doing a whole lot more endorsement deals. So there's rumors. There was like a Forbes article about how much money they possibly lost, and then people extrapolated that the broadcast money hasn't hit yet, so we might be broke. So that's why you see him doing all these crazy endorsements that he wouldn't have done 5 years ago, and maybe that's why. And he's trying to boost his image by letting him do this roast thing on him to maybe get more jobs in the future.
That is stunning.
Interesting take.
Yeah. Did they pay him for the roast, or do you know?
I don't know. I haven't looked that up, but I don't. If they do, it can't possibly be that much money.
No,
I think it's more of like all press is good press type deal.
Must be, yeah. I guess
interesting
so.
take.
Thanks, Eddie. That is very interesting. I didn't know that. And if somebody told me that, I mean, how can Tom Brady lose all of his money?
Ask Tom Selleck.
Broke. Yeah, well, Tom Selleck can barely hang on to his rank.
Brady, not only that, but he was one of the first ones to say, "Pay me in crypto."
Yeah, he did some of that.
So, I mean, and of course, no one wants to really admit how much money they may have lost in a bad investment.
Well, that was one of the jokes, too. I mean, a lot of people, in fact, joked about how he lost money in the crypto craze and all of that. Donna,
he was sued, right?
Yeah,
he was the face of that.
He was part, like Larry David, a few other celebrities that were in that commercial.
But don't you think somebody like Tom Brady, who seems incredibly intelligent to me and very careful about that stuff, would say, okay, I'll put I mean, he's probably worth $300 million. And if he lost $75 million, that would be huge. But still, he'd be worth $225 million. And he's got this big paying job at Fox coming up. I can't believe he would be broke. Of course, he's also got a divorce he's gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I used to hear that she made more money than he did. I mean,
always heard that.
How can the two of them together be broke?
You never know.
God.
You just never know how much people are really spending or
what they're worth.
Really yeah.
Donna, you're talking about the Brady roast. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just basically saying that all the younger, boys and girls that look at him like a role model and being so easily accessible to watch it, I imagine he probably lost a few of those, the previous caller. Anybody just used it insane, but boost his image. I don't think it boosted his image at all. It changed my whole perspective on him.
Did it really?
And I just feel bad for a lot of 10-year-old little boys out there who he was their role model, and just to take all that kind of F this and F that, it was just like, I was flabbergasted.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think it boosted his image either. I mean, all they did was talk about the terrible things. Mostly what you hear about him is how great a football player he was, which is true, how good looking he is. He has kept the pregnant girlfriend thing. I don't think many people even remember that. That
was a long
time ago. Thank you very much, Donna.
I know one woman that never forgot.
My wife.
Yep.
She mentions it every time that she sees him.
Does she roast Tom when she sees him on TV?
Oh, yeah, she can't stand
she's been roasting him for years.
I hated that. But most people sort of let that go, and then it was dredged up again. But that's why I was thinking, what good did that do him? Do you believe that all press is good press? I mean, a lot of people say that, but the first caller said all press is good press, and then she just said, I think a lot less of him than I did. I just felt like I don't know. I think it did him more harm than good, if at all, if anything came of it. And I'm surprised he didn't have somebody in his ear saying, think hard about this. They're going to go after you.
He might have, but we all know pig-headed people who are like, I know best.
And way more famous people have been roasted than Tom Brady. And it's not on the Netflix platform, and it doesn't become topics of morning shows for 5 days after.
Are they as clean imaged as Brady? And and like you just said, it's never been on this.
Rob Lowe's been roasted. His image is pretty clean.
But he had that issue with and it comes up. And he was at the end. It was, I don't know. It just seems different to me. The Rob Lowe roast didn't get nearly this kind of public.
Exactly.
This kind of scrutiny.
For a while there, roast just became...
it's on Netflix.
Yeah. I think for a while there, roast just became a once-a-month deal on Comedy Central.
Right.
For 30 minutes. So you had all these celebrities, B-list.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like...
Rob Lowe's not B-list. Donald Trump is not B-list. They were both roasted.
At the time, though, they weren't... I think Rob Lowe's image has gotten bigger through the years.
Two guys named Chris Jones. Rock 92. I think you're probably right. I think at that time it might have been good for him. Like, let's get Rob Lowe's name back in the mainstream again. I don't think Tom Brady needed that. And it's on that huge platform. Unlike just a midnight at Comedy Central. And as you said, most of them used to not even be televised. It was just, let's go have some fun. I don't know. Looking back, I wonder if the people around him think this was a good move or a bad move. Not sure.